to my channel Science to Technology. So in this live stream we're going to talk about some space stuff. Hopefully audio and video is working. If that is so, please comment yes AV or click the 100% symbol in the heart symbol, so I will know that audio and video is working and you can hear me and watch me without any issue. I'm waiting for incognito window to give me confirmation. So let's see. To my channel Science to Technology. So in this live stream so as of now I do think based on incognito window that audio and video is working and you guys should say it. World is one. Where are you? Well, again, it's a stream supposed to start at 7. It started at 7. So everything is fine. Everything is on time. Everything is dandy. So topic of the day is SpaceX going boom again. Now this time it's starting to become a bit of an issue because again this was 8th flight of the Starship project. Not 1, not 2, 8. So it's fun and games when you are going boom boom in your first 1 or 2 times, but it's starting to become an issue where you're like, bro, go to the orbit. Like there was a meme going around which was very apt for this situation, is that somehow SpaceX can catch a giant building using rocket power. They're good, they got this. And somehow cannot figure out how to put things in orbit. So it's basically the thing that's supposed to be the easy part, basically going to the orbit, and then they have to spend time in order to figure out how they're gonna do recovery. They're having a very weird experience where they're like, we can do the recovery. Like they have recovered boosters 3 times. That is like, damn. 3 times, let that sink in. 3 times they have like yeet booster out of the air. That is like magnificent, for lack of a better term. However, not having the ability to basically put things in orbit makes it mute, because again it's an orbital rocket first. Unless you can put things in orbit, not much is gonna happen. Oh, I think randomly a lot of people started to click hard button. I think comment is open for people, so I'm not sure why you guys are not commenting. Are you guys having issue with comments? Let me double check. How can I check this? Public, okay, let me edit. Things looks to be normal. It's subscriber, it's made for subscriber, so all things are fine. All things are dandy, so I'm a bit confused. Do Trump have your private video? You keep supporting his stupidity. First of all, whenever you are talking about something like that, where you have like black and white view, you are a child, okay? People are not monolith, okay? So I could be very smart in a lot of things, very dumb in other things. Same goes with every single freaking human on the planet, no matter how good, no matter how smart, no matter how dumb. So when Trump wins the election, because again he is very good at public manipulation, awesome, he knows what he's doing. When he's controlling tariff too in order to get what he wants, again as a businessman he's very good. When he talks about a war, he's dumbed down. Like this another guy in UK, he was saying like, the reality of the war is this much land is already lost. I'm like, have you not studied World War II? The whole country was lost, but somehow you captured it back. And again, that also took years. It's no real, like I have no idea how the heck so many people are saying, oh, the land that is taken, it can never be recovered. I'm like, that's not how war works. Like we have whole World War II where countries were taken over, like not just like, oh, this area, country, whole country, done. And then it was, and like sometimes country literally changed hand 2 times. So first time German went boom boom on their ass, and second time Soviet Union went boom boom on their ass, and then also they got their independence. So there is no scenario where it's like, having this whole idea where it's like, Trump has to be smart with everything. Hell no, he does not understand war. And again, I have been very clear from day 1 when he said, I'm gonna end the war in day 1. No, he cannot. Given the fact that Chechnya fought for 8 years, without any support, Ukraine is going to last much longer. And in terms of basically his stance on Europe, it has been exactly the same thing that he was saying in 2016. So I can't fault him for that. It's like in 2016, NATO is not paying his due. 2017, NATO is not doing what it is supposed to. 2018, exactly the same thing. Brick by brick, day by day, he's now doing the same thing. And now everybody in NATO is like, we have to stand on our 2 feet. You should have always had that option. So in that part, he's correct. In the part of Putin understanding and putting faith in it, no, he cuckoo in that. But again, that's normal. People can understand few things and people can be ludicrously dumb in other things. Like if you cannot understand that, I'm very sorry. Like you have not grown enough where it's like, oh, people have dimensionality to them. People are not just 2D. They are 3D creatures, where some things would be, holy damn, this guy knows what he's talking about. To be like, bro, you good in that? You're not good in that. So that's normal. Relax. Like this sort of what you call hook myself, hook myself. So this sort of thing that I'm saying in too much in internet is like either Elon Musk is a super genius or super dumb. Like no, he can be both. Most people are both. Like here's the deal. Think in this way. Take about the dumbest individual you know in your immediate life and reality. They still would have a job, most likely. They still would be good at something. They still would be providing value in order to get the money. Most people do. And even if you're like, oh, they're just a criminal are not easy. Okay, it's not easy. So even if they're running a kingpin empire, it's not easy. It takes a lot of this. So, and again, they could be very smart in one thing, very dumb in another thing. Because again, if they were that good in that, and if the calculations of their brain was just different, they will be like, bro, I can make 10 times more if I'm just doing like, scam on crypto. That's the whole point. People are both. Like they could be super smart and super dumb. So when let's say Donald Trump says like, I'm gonna do this in terms of border, I'm like, yeah, he is the president, he has the authority to do it, he did do it. He's like, I'm gonna reduce the inflation. I'm like, I'm very clear in my video, like it's already there. I have said the only way he can tame it, not control it. Basically, you cannot deflate the economy. The best you can do, instead of inflation of like 6, 7, 8% every year, you can tame it down to let's say 1% or 2% per year. But that will happen only if you can reduce the energy prices. How would you do that? Drill, baby, drill. And again, what is the problem in that? Well, problem is it's a short-term solution. But again, if you are dying right now, you have to take care right now. What I was here, but wrong on Ukraine is like Ukraine mineral deal is a totally unfair. Welcome to life. Welcome to the freaking life. It's like, oh, it's unfair. It's like, oh, getting bombarded by the things. Again, it has deal. It's a deal, right? You're like, okay, we have to give you minerals. Again, exactly the same thing Sri Lanka also had to deal with. Sri Lanka went bankrupt with stupidity, and then China is like, okay, I'm going to take away your port. Then India had to literally bail them out. That's literally whole world. Every country is like that. That's why it's like think freely. Let yourself go, man. Like do not be like, oh, relax, chill. If somebody is giving you something, you cannot complain. Because here's the deal. They will simply say, okay, go to someone else. And again, Europe has been rotten from the inside because of bureaucracy. Again, thankfully that bureaucracy is much less compared to Russian propaganda, but okay. If Russia was like, if the whole NATO was like clean, actually efficient, this problem would have been sorted long ago. I have been saying this very clearly, very long ago. If all the donation after, after the war started, if you temporarily compress them, instead of giving them over the 3 years, you compress it in 1 week, done, the war would have been over. But they're like, okay, what if one deal is unfair? Again, every time we do deal with other countries, it's exactly the same thing. That's literally economics. It's like start to see people in dimensionality. They could be super smart in one thing, super bad, super unfair, super basically it's almost like people forgot that he's supposed to be elected by American people for American good. His first priority is America first. And again, it's the same thing I will expect from Narendra Modi. Why? Because Indians elected him. He's supposed to put India first. So I'm very angry whenever he says like, oh, we are looking about buying fighter jets from either America or Russia. I'm like, dude, don't do these stupid things. We have been doing these stupid things. We are literally retarded because of that. Please start making your own fighter jet. But again, that's the whole point. American companies gaining a lot of profit from all over the world, so trade deficit will be sound like a penny, so that will be a point of tariff for tariff. Again, tariff is a gambling system. Tariff, again, I have already specified, oh, tariff is good or bad. No, tariff is a tool. It can be utilized properly, it could be utilized very poorly. And let's just say this 4 years, they do not do properly tariffs and it causes basically inflation goes up too much, people start to suffer, and again, they will vote him out. That will be the outcome of it. And then we'll say he did not do tariff properly. And again, that will be a chapter in tariff history. And again, are there any example of good tariff? A lot of them. Like now people are like, oh, Japanese technology. How do you think that happened? Tariffs. Literally, that's why I made a dedicated video on that. It's like tariff is a tool. If the person utilizing it, if they are doing it wisely, it will help you. If they are not doing it wisely, it will harm you. Again, time will tell. Jesus. USA is not trustworthy. Did I ever said for India to buy any weapon system from USA? No. I've been saying that from time one that India already got bitch slapped from USA, and thankfully we got bitch slapped because otherwise we would not have built our Navik system. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you do not require a reminder that during Kargil war, Indian Air Force had GPS. Military bought GPS with proper procedure and legal paperwork, and USA shut it down. And again, that's why you see in the border movie, we have to wait for sunrise so our fighter jets can take off because GPS was disabled. And again, USA was doing that between Pakistan and India, where they were like, okay, both of you have to shut down. And again, that's one lever they pulled. And the moment that happened, the moment we got the bitch slap, instantly India is like, okay, now we have to build our own navigation system, which mind you, so many countries were so smarter. Like Japan already has their own rudimentary version, Russia built their own system, and Europe also built it. Think about it. Europe built it. Even though they are in the part of NATO, they were like, okay, let's be smart enough, let's build our own Galileo system. Russia was smart enough. Again, Russia was contradictory power, not contradictory, what's called opposite. So it made sense they will make their own GLONASS system. So you have GPS, GLONASS, Galileo from European Union, China made Bindu system, and India made Navig system. India would not have gotten single rupee for Navig system if GPS was not jammed. And again, I've been saying time and time again, as long as country does not get bitch slapped, it does not grow. For example, India got bitch slapped, boom, Navig system was funded and we started to build it. Another example, Israel. Israel get bitch slapped. Nobody gives them tanks, and they give them literally tanks from World War II, and they're like, what the hell? And then they're like, okay, nobody's gonna support us, boom, we're gonna build our own tanks. They are the only country known to man so far that they built a tank, basically main battle tank, under budget, under schedule. How the heck that's even possible for a weapon system? But they did. And now people are like, okay, why America supports this? This you cannot buy easily. Israel built this because they were basically bitch slapped by everyone. So I never ever say, oh, buy weapons technology from USA. Never ever have said that. So it's like, please don't be black and white. Like, that's just sad. Like you have this, use it. And again, you could disagree, no problem. No problem. You are free to disagree. There is nothing wrong with that. You could have different perspective. Chill, awesome. That's the whole point. But don't have black and white things. That's like, what's the point of having these? A law of universe simple, but utilizing it well is the complex. Bingo. That's the whole point. Bingo. You should work on themselves and should phase out US security and benefit them in the long. Am I not saying the damn thing from like freaking forever? Trump recently gave cool off Mexico and Canada tariff. Do you think he is stepping down? Let's see. Again, 4 years. We have to wait for 4 years to see how it goes. Do you think Trump is completely his term? People start propaganda against him. Let's see. Again, this is what we are saying. But again, as of now, what is today's date? 8 of March. 8 March 2025. He just did a public address. It happened in that Congress building that they have, White Congress building, I think. In that building, he gave like I think the longest speech ever. So it's like 1 hour or 30 minutes. Like he was going on, and he was flat out, flat out doing things like he was doing some very clever thing. Again, he knows how to work the camera, and given the fact that he has been a celebrity before, being a celebrity was like easy thing like an influencer and all that, so he knows how to work the camera. He got that child and all that, and because Democrats did not know how to handle Trump, they're like, no, they're gonna sit, and it's like, dude, that 13-year-old, stand and clap. Stand and freaking clap. Does not matter your Trump derangement syndrome. And again, they saw that. So fundamentally speaking, it's one of those things where Trump knows how to handle media. And again, Doge is very clever. Again, if Doge does even 10% of what they are selling the country, 10% of it, America will start to heal again. So that is, again, he does have certain good ideas. Again, in terms of war, he does not know war. He does not know war. But again, I've been saying that, like Trump becomes Trumpet when it comes to war. He's a businessman. He understands business. The war side is like, bro, did you even read history? It's like, oh, the war has progressed this much. It's like 10 plus years of war. So, okay. Okay. Do you think Trump will complete his term? Yeah, of course. He will most likely will complete his term. AMC is under development. No update, no testing yet published. I do not know what they are doing. Who knows? But what can we do? F-35 is a way to save India from tariff. Again, that's we also have a lot of levers to pull. Again, see, that's the whole point. Either you suffer today so you have a better tomorrow, or you push your suffering tomorrow and then you get completely neutered. Why do you think India is neutered right now? Because we did not invested in our own fighter jet Marut to build our own aviation industry. So now we are like, Bhagwan ke naam pe de do. It's like we are begging. because we did not suffer then. If we had suffered then, it would have been easier today. If we do not suffer today, our tomorrow would be far worse. Choice is ours. Choice is like all Indians are making this choice at this point in time. It's like, oh, we have such a strategic gap. It's like, if you think 5th gen gap is this much, what do you think 6th gen would be? What do you think 7th gen would be? What do you think 10th would be? So, yes, it's not. I mean, you can security after the mineral. This government siding Russia. They're not siding with Russia. They're siding with America. They're like, hey, we are doing what we need to do for our country. They're not helping Russia or doing anything. They're like, Russia is benefiting but not helped. And again, if they start to remove tariffs from Russia, then it will be an interesting thing. HAL built 200 plus Sukhoi, and then why not learn to build fighter jets? Again, technology transfer is a different thing versus when you have to actually build from scratch. When you have to actually, like, like again, I keep saying India's biggest weakness is white paper. If you give Indians are like, okay, this is the blueprint, copy it, it's like, bro, done. If you give Indian people like money and it's like multiply, it's like, bro, done. Done. Don't even worry about it. It's like, bro, we got this. We good. We good. It's like, give them white paper. It's like, nope, cannot touch it. Okay, tell us something about the Firefly mission. That was amazing. Amazing. And it's super amazing because, again, now you are seeing the benefit of taking balls, the risk. So NASA took ballsy move while making the CLIPS mission. The CLIPS mission is commercial, I think what is called commercial lunar landing project or something like that. So the idea is basically how they built SpaceX using a commercial resupply mission. Commercial resupply mission was private companies, please build us something and we'll buy basically all the development cost and all that. We'll subsidize it. Basically, we'll give you guaranteed contracts. And we're gonna use it for resupplying ISS. That's how SpaceX got created. So they are doing the same thing, but for platform. Basically, not for rocket. They're like, we good. We have the rockets. For platform, that things need to be basically on top of a rocket and carry it from, like, low Earth orbit to lunar surface. So that platform, it has to be created by that, and for that platform the NASA will give them, like, okay, I want you to carry 10 payloads. I want to carry like payloads. Payload being tools. Tools could be a vacuum that they are carrying, could be materials tester where you have a disk which has a lot of small holes of materials. Each material would be tested in real lunar environment, and then they have my personal favorite, electronic dust repellent. Basically, where is my DSLR? Hold on. So, if you have ever used a DSLR, DSLRs have a sensor. So basically behind that mirror, I think you guys may not be. Anyway, yeah, there is a mirror. So behind that mirror, there is a sensor. Sensor has a piezo vibrator. So that vibrator is supposed to basically help it clean the dust out. It barely works. But again, it is what it is. Now, what NASA is figuring out is, like, they need a way to clean the dust, basically clean the dust from sensor lenses, basically the glass elements. They need to clean the dust from radiators, otherwise the radiator will not work. They need to clean dust from solar panels. Okay. So these are the three primary targets of cleaning dust. Okay. How they are doing it? Basically, they are creating electro wave on top, basically very tiny particles, basically that lands and gets stuck. They have a very subtle, what you call electronic pulse wave. That wave electrostatically is repelling stuff out there. So idea is, on paper, that you're going to have this sort of wiring, subtle wiring on them, and the wiring will carry a current in a specific pattern. That pattern will create a wave-like effect, pushing the dirt out. And if it works on the moon, that will allow good things to happen. So let's just see. I like that because, again, not only they have a normal copper variant for things that does not need to be transparent, they also have a transparent version for lens elements. So if that works out, the fact that you can have something and it just cleans the dust, I will like, again, camera sensors will be like, so that's a good thing. So Firefly mission is testing that. I'm very excited about that. Then they have a pew drill. So that drill has like a compressed air, is like a so it's using compressed air to, like, cause a vibration, liquefy the stuff, and then because, again, gravity is weak, somehow they're creating torsion force that is going down. I think it's a screw that is corking itself down using compressed air, and that's how they are drilling. Up to 3 meters of drilling should be possible. Again, I do not know whether it will work or not, but we'll find out soon enough. And this mission exposed one very critical thing, that everything is good. We're good. We got this. We have the technology. Everything is good. We don't have the bandwidth. We just don't have the bandwidth. Basically, we need relay satellites, like a lot of relay satellite on the moon, and big, powerful, giant solar panel with a giant ion engines. We need a lot of relay satellites. Without relay satellite, the data, basically the data backhaul is the weak link right now. So we need to do something about it. Your recent comment also say Elon Tesla. Your take. I do not have the data context of what you're talking about. Sorry. Do you remember treaty where Ukraine gave all the nuclear weapons back to Russia in exchange for security that Russia will never invade? US, UK both agreed on it. Yeah. That's why I'm saying when Trump says now we can trust Putin, if Putin gives his word, he can keep it. It's like no, nuclear treaty was violated. That's why they have to separate. Like if your nuclear treaty no longer has any value, then it's like at that point you have to break a tyrant. So. Since lost his life due to fake case, damn it is for that. Yeah, such is life. Starship, any update about it? Yeah, it's exactly the same issue. And again, right now, I think Starship really needs to look down and really needs to, like the whole team has to settle down right now. It's 8th time, they still have not reached orbit. Be mindful, other companies are reaching orbit either in 1 try or 2-3 tries. In like 2025, you cannot say it's like, oh, it's 8th try, we still haven't reached orbit. That's not acceptable. And too many design decisions are changing, too many. Like for example, they are catching boosters, so you will be like, okay, booster is ready. No, they have to make a completely new booster where they have the hot ring directly mounted. So they're like, okay, what about engine? I'm not even sure they are using Mark 2 engines or 3, and Mark 4 they are developing. It's like, dude, at some point you have to stop. At some point you have to stop. It's like, oh, it does not have a margin. Then fix the margin issue. If like, engines do not have like, again, why using Mark 2? You have already met Mark 3. Stop the project until you have Mark 3 ready. Use that. It's like too many things are changing dynamically, and that's why it's like starting to show cracks. Like heat shield never worked as expected, never, not even once. Like it's like, no, everything worked flawlessly. Like again, it worked, but it was like, yeah, you could not reuse it. So fundamentally speaking, they should now really sit down and really slow down, and it's like, okay, let's figure out what we have to do, because there is another problem. Every time they go boom in the low Earth orbit, they create an issue where air traffic control has to be diverted. And again, they're like, okay, we have pre-plans. Here's deal. That pre-plan does not mean it's a harmless. It simply means there was a method, a pre-programmed situation where pilots have to divert and delay and all that. But again, 1 and 2 times they can do that, but you cannot do that like, okay, every few weeks we are doing this. That's not acceptable. Again, it will piss off very powerful people, very rich people, and which can delay FAA license because of this. So they really need to sit down and completely what you call. They really need to sort it out flat out. At this point in time, they need to sort it out. Hold on. Starship is last 2 Starship were Block 2 ships. Block 1 ship were good. No. Again, that's the whole problem. The design is not complete. Hold on, sorry about that. I'm confused by BMAP. It gives so many false. I'm like, again, the notification comes up and it's just ad. It's like frustrating me. But it is why. I do not know the engine. I'm not interested in the ship blocks. I'm interested in the engine. Because again, they keep saying that we do not have enough margin. We do not have enough margin. What engine are you using? Are they Block 1, Block 2, or Mark 3? So that's the interesting part. Okay, the real loser in this war is Ukraine. I think they should just merge with old Russia rather than becoming complete slave to USA. Okay, are you full retard? Like, did you went full retard? Like, understand this. If Russia was so good, Ukrainians do not hate their life. They would not fight it. And they were slave to Soviet Union. They fought against it. Like, here's the deal. Imagine the bloodbath India had to endure during World War II, during Bengal famine. Right? Bad thing, right? Everybody knows that is a bad thing. Now imagine that's the same amount of death count in Ukraine. Now here's the interesting thing. Their population is tiny, meaning everybody knows what Soviet Union did to them. So they're literally living proof like we cannot have Soviet Union coming back. And again, Putin in his retard brain, he actually thinks Soviet Union was a good thing. And here's the, how do we know, right? You are outside, I'm outside. How do we know that Soviet Union was bad? Here's the, there were many countries inside Soviet Union. The moment Soviet Union fell back, nobody was, let's rebuild it. Again, first of all, it would not have fallen back, fallen if it was not great. It fell, everybody ran away. Like again, we also had Germany, right? Germany was fachanged, one part capitalist, one part socialist, and communist. Which one do you think was prosperous? It's the same thing. Again, same you can even see in Korea. Korea was like fachang, cut in half. You have North Korea, South Korea. North Korea is held by Russia, China, and what is the condition of North Korea versus what is the South Korea? And you're saying, South Korea is the slave of USA. Trust me, people will be like, we good, bro. It's like, think it through. And slave is not such a light word that you can just throw away. Bro, grow up. It's like, I get it. Right now it's cool and fam, and it's like, because we are stupid, we are like, oh, we hate America and all that. It's like cool and hip, but everybody, Indians is like, our passport keeps going there. So it's one of the, okay, I get it. Every Tom, Dick and Harry is like, we hate America. It's like, yeah, it's basic bitch thing. People have been hating it for 275 years. Get over it. Okay? Get over it. Slave to USA. It's like, dude, slavery, we were slaves. Like, we were actually slaves 75 years ago. It's not even like three centuries ago. Do you really think that? Don't just use words because you are emotionally triggered. Come on, your words have certain value. Use that appropriately. And again, you're like, okay, what if their economy becomes dependent? Or what if they get blown up? What if they suffer the exact same fate they suffered under USSR? That's a real memory for them. That's not like, if this, then that, we do not know. No, they suffered through it. They suffered through it. It's like, don't just use anything. Just like, come on. I know, every Tom, Dick and Harry is like, we hate America, yo! It's the same thing. There is a Instagram reel going on. It's like, when I was a kid, I saw like, what Britishers did to India. I was like, so angry child is like, and when he became rich and he's like going to UK, because again, everybody does that. It's like, I see. So don't be like that. In the treaty, they say NATO not expanded, but NATO did. No, NATO expanded after the war, not before the war. They violated the treaty first. After the war, two countries joined. And again, why did they join? You started a war. You violated a nuclear treaty. That's why they joined. Timeline is clear, bro. If this time you are believing that, I will have to give credit to Russian propaganda, because like, holy damn, so many people say it's like, NATO is a bureaucracy. It's like saying Indian government will do something in 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, no. You are bashing on Russia, but to look completely U-turn USA. First, read the mineral deal and economic concussion. Again, read Ukrainian history. Why do you think Chechnya fought for 8 years? It's a history. I'm not talking about future. It's under Putin. Why do you think they fought it? Why do you think Afghanistan fought for against Soviet Union? Why do you think that? If you think, again, nobody is going to give you free deal, my man. Nobody is going to give you free deal. It's like, free, take it and go. Nobody is going to give you a free deal. Again, Trump was chosen for America. Modi was chosen for India. Zelensky was chosen for Ukraine. Again, everybody will try to make sure they get the best hand. And again, if you are blown up, yeah, that mineral deal, after being blown up, you'll be like, yeah, that was not that bad. Yeah. So trust me. I don't admit, I just hate global players, Trump backing off from nuclear treaty. Again, he is elected by people. He can do whatever he wants. It's almost like, it's like I'm saying the exact same thing, but you are like, oh, because you are saying this good thing about the country, everything you say is wrong. That's not how it works. I've been saying flat out, India should never ever trust basically any foreign entity for any sort of defense contract. But everybody's like, they ignore that part, and other parts that are true, it's like, no, because I will ignore what you said, and because you are like, I've seen so many obscenities sent towards me about this part. It's like, boring. At this point, it's just boring. Happy International Women's Day. Oh, my brother is doing, I think his live stream would be over. But again, he introduced, why I'm saying introduced? Interviewed. Yeah, I think interviewed would be the correct word. So he interviewed a lady about certain cultures of India and all that. It was interesting. Again, not for me, but it was. Ukraine needs to learn from Israel. Again, they did. Ukraine literally are building their own long-range jet-powered drones very quickly. In 2 years, they went from like barely having anything to like actually striking inside Russia. So they are doing good. Ukraine got by USA, and now they have to be self-reliant. Again, time will tell. And again, they are right now the leading country in terms of drone warfare. They are the only country, like same way in terms of defense, like in terms of like an Iron Dome kind of defense, only Israel is the most tested one. Why? They keep getting boomed. So they are like, bro, we know how to handle it. Other countries like, we can handle 5-6 missiles. Israel is like, yeah, that's 5 minutes for us, man. Like, that's 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes for us. So same way with Ukraine. Ukraine is like damn good with drone technology, like damn good. Like boom, boom, boom. Like, how do you think they are handling it? It's like drone technology, the marine drones, holy damn, they figured out marine drones so quickly. I was like, they're stealth coating marine drones. I'm like, damn, they're good. But my mentor also not assuring Ukraine Russia won't invade again. Again, there is no answer for that. See, there is no answer for that. You want an answer for that, there is no answer for it. You do not trust a dictator. There is no answer for it. What do you want? It's like the nuclear treaty was violated. The only alternative is either, again, assume USA does not help. Again, you cannot expect other people to help you, because again, it's inconvenient to them. They will not help you. Okay, what now? Okay, you keep fighting for, let's say, 8 years. Again, let's say you even beat Russia, because again, now beating Russia is possible simply because their birth rate is low. So if you keep chopping enough of their males, yes, the country will collapse. Again, how close they are, I do not know. Again, we have to know how many death has happened of males before having childbirth. Basically, you have to understand, young men who are dying before becoming fathers, that's the most important part. How many of them? 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. If it's like 700,000 or million, yeah, then the country will barely last 20, 35 years at that point in time. So that's there. Did you saw Trump's behavior in his recent meeting with Zelensky? I do not care. It's almost like you want other people to behave how you want them to. It's like, bro, you are not elected. It's like, it's me expecting, like, let's say Trump, no, not Trump, this guy. How we reacted to basically Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was mad at us. But again, I elected Modi for this exact reason. So it's like, bro, put India first. So that's the whole point. Just imagine how Cuba do defense trade with Russia and what USA do both now. Let's see. In my college today, free wrestling biggest enemy for women is Westerners is a 5-time gold medal. Wrestlers in a 5-time gold medalist Asian champions. So what do you think about this? I have no context of what you're talking about. Anyway, let's going back to Firefly. Firefly's lander, again, it's success in one go. And again, to be fair, they learned a lot from all the previous failure. Now, it comes to intuitive machine, which crash landed. Again, the crash landing happened the first time because the LiDAR has lasers, and there are basic lasers that are like, eye safe. Like lasers used in this, like eye safe laser. You do not have to think too much about it. But there are lasers that are high power, so they have a key, mechanical manual key, meaning if that key is inserted, you cannot override it on software. And they forgot to remove that key, launch the rocket, and there's like, oops, LiDAR is not coming on because the key was inserted. So they had to, thankfully, luckily, they had a payload that was a LiDAR also. So they reconfigured the software to using the payload LiDAR, and they landed. Again, the LiDAR worked, but it was not perfect, so they misaligned a little bit. So, okay, that happened. First time, no problem. Second time, exact same thing. Now, this time LiDAR was active, but again, LiDAR somehow still misinterpreted and they still went bam. So I'm like, bro, one time things happen. 2 times it's like, And again, you have Firefly there. It's like, first time, bro, me good. So that's a very, very system. The rest of the world trying to make Putin is closer. Bro, cheap, bro, cheap. Don't consume cheap. Anyway, right now, this is one thing that you have to understand. USA is the world's largest everything. Like, whether we like it or not, because again, I've been saying India should do seaweed biofuel, but you're like, no, we should beg, OPEC because it's cheaper. Because again, dollar, we have to rely on dollars. And then like, we're going to do Brexit. I'm like, what is that? BRICS. And like literally half of the country hate each other. It's like, yeah, we have Russia. Again, Russia, India, bye, okay, let's cool, awesome. Then you also have China there. Yeah, China, India not making love. Yeah, that's not happening in China and India. So 2 biggest powerhouse is like, it's like, it's not gonna work. So China is good in drone technology. Again, they are on paper good. Same way Russia is supposed to be second worst powerful nation. On paper they're good. Ukraine is actually good in actual warfare while they're getting boomed. So that's a very different thing. Like actual real world, real use case scenario, real is like, okay, we're gonna sunk your Moscow with ancient, what was the missile name? Yeah, Neptune missile, ancient Neptune missile. So on paper, Russia was supposed to be like, bro, this is supposed to be a 3-day operation, 1 month maximum. It's like it's been going on for 3 years. So, the government giving scholarship for foreign education. My problem is that if ultimate powerful person isn't investing in his own education system, then who will? I'm not sure. The Delhi government is giving scholarship for foreign education. My problem is that if the ultimate powerful person isn't investing in our own education system, then who will? To, again, assuming I am not understanding what your thought train is, but it's like you do not like the idea that government is giving grants for Indian students to go abroad and study. Well, again, it has been done by Japan also. They literally paid for a lot of students to go. Why? Because once they learned their technology and their essence, they brought it back. They brought it back. Basically, Japan is the best case scenario of how to utilize your weakness properly. They had the weakness. They were boomed country. They were actually boomed 2 times, and again everything else was burned. So they were boomed thoroughly, completely deleted. They're like, okay, what is the weakness we have? We do not have brain. Okay, who has the brain? Okay, USA. Send our kids to there so they can study it. They studied their basically the factories and everything. Okay, they brought it here. Okay, what is their weakness? They studied it. Now they know they do not have good quality. I recently did an interview in my Ahiravat channel with David. Now David is old person, is like 86 years old. So he was alive before Toyota and Honda became a common thing in America, and he lived through that where American vehicles were barely lasting 50,000 miles or something like that. And when Toyota started to come in, they randomly were like, okay, 100,000. How the heck that happened? Like that was almost 2 times the lifespan. How the heck that happened? And it's like very simple, quality. So they took the knowledge from America, they put their essence into it, and ta-da! And how did they make sure that their car companies can grow? Tariff. They made sure American Ford cannot be sold effectively in Japan, but Japan can sell, effectively in America. Tariff. So it's one of those things. To be enemy with USA is dangerous, but to be friend with USA is fate. No. See, we were friend with USA. We bought a GPS. They bitch slapped it. Now we got Navik. See, we are friends with Russia. We never built planes because they actually sell us. Imagine if Russia actually stopped selling us. 5 minutes later, India will have fighter jet. So, why support Russia in war? Even Russia is main reason for war. Again, it's not supporting Russia. It's hating America. See, if someone is better than you, you hate them. It's one of the normal human emotion. You hate them. Again, Indian army also not very fan of Russia. How do I know? Right? I'm not working in army. Look into the court case that is going on Indian Navy. Is like, why the heck Navy sold a budget to government? It's like central government is like, bro, give us $500 million. We're gonna buy a aircraft carrier. Cool, awesome, normal things. They went to Russia. Russia is like, okay, we're gonna give us $500 million and you're gonna give us a aircraft carrier. Cool, awesome. They bought, and by the time the deal was done, they actually got it was $2 billion. There is a court case going on it. It's like, how the heck fund appropriation happened? It was so expensive. It's like, we could have built our own for that price. Literally. And that's why second one is built, like, because first one was so expensive and they bought it. And again, it was not even working. Like, so many engineers have to work their ass off just to make it work. And again, that's if you understand that story, what happened to India, you will understand why Moscow was destroyed so easily. Again, it happened. Like, Indian government is filing a case. Like, what the hell? Like, if the contract is $500 million, cool. 600, things happen. 700, okay. 1 billion, what the hell? That's 2x. Like 1.5 billion, 3x. 2 billion, what the hell? And that happened. So it's one of those things. Indians aren't doing coming, but Indians aren't doing. Indians aren't coming back. Again, that's our problem. Not see, government can only hope to do something good. If you are like not doing that, if you're not coming back, again, that's what you call. Basically, others are not responsible for your ethics. If you do not have good ethics, again, Japanese people have good ethics. That's what they infused in all the knowledge they had. Basically, Ford was 10 times ahead of Toyota. 10 times ahead. Like, it was not even a competition. Ford was like, I'm the daddy. And again, they were actually the daddy. From 1905, they were daddy. So how the heck that happened? Again, they took what they had and they added what they of themselves. Quality, inspection, QC, and voila. So, to be clear, I don't have a car. In fact, I have a car as bigger once I have enough money. How's your back? It's the sad part. That's the right now my channel's health is very precarious as it is mine, but it is what it is. I have to actually get a surgery. The injection did reduce the swelling. It did help me heal a little bit. Because again, 6 months ago, the pain started and it got so bad, like last 3 months was like raw painful. So after injection, it almost goes back, but now I've made a decision that I have to get it treated. I cannot sit or stand for too long. So it's something that I have to sort. Again, I cannot work like it. I'm not in so much pain where it's like, okay, I'm actually sick. I'm not in health where it's like, okay, I'm gonna work. I'm stuck in this limbo position. So I have made decision. Again, 16th March I'm going again, and this time I'll do my best to get the actual surgery. Because again, I cannot be in this limbo state where let's try on this. Again, I'm going traveling, that's also wasting money. So I have to make a decision and just go with it and see what happens. Many people, including me, speculating Starship to have some core issue with the redesign of proposal. What's your POV on that? Yeah, it could be. It could be. Another become we over dependent on USA, so we need balance. Yeah. Okay, my balance. Now my brother is burning my ass because he bought a Sony A7 A7C, and I'm like, I'm still waiting for A7 Mark 5 to be released so I can buy it. He bought it and he's like, see the photo. I'm like, oh, that's just rude. That's just rude. So it is what it is. It sounds like you're not aware Trump is pissing off the allies for a day of his presidency, unlike Canada and Europe, and while China and Russia are enjoying the moment. You know Canada, right? Canada is a country, cool, awesome, GG. Canada has tariff on USA. Trump is the only one, he knows business enough where he's like, bro, they have this tariff. That's why he calls it reciprocal tariff. It's like, again, if America does not clean itself, there is no point of, oh, we have allies. No, we are rotten dead. It's like, think in this way, like, what would you rather have? One healthy friend who's like actually strong, or 10 skeleton is like, oh. That's the whole point. America is completely messed up. Their own, what you call corporate greed got out of hand. Okay, the basically corporate men sold that country. And Trump is like, because again, he is in the second term. He learned a lot from his first term. First term, he flat out says like, bro, I barely understood what the hell is going on. But in second term, he knows what he has to do. He has, again, if he does not fight, there is no third term. Again, legally also, it's like very difficult. So he is like, this is my final try. He will do everything in his power to fix USA. And he loves USA. He loves USA. Does other country does not matter. And again, you have to understand this. All other country, USA alone, USA will still stand. And again, World War II proved that. So it's one of those things like, oh, the allies, speaking of allies, again, half of the allies were rotten. And again, he has been saying the same thing from 2016. Like, I was there. I was in a job, even though I heard that, what you call that speech, is like, you know, NATO has to pay its share. Only now they are like, after getting boom slapped, first NATO expanded after the war. And then it's like Poland is like, okay, we have to fix our economy. We really have to pay our budget. Then all, after this Ukraine stunt that happened, then it's like, okay, Germany will now increase their GDP onto the defense sector. All of them starting to fix themselves. Would you rather have a fixed Europe acting as a proper friend, or a rotten Europe? Choice is yours. He has been saying the same thing from 2016. And he's like, oh, China and Russia. China and Russia are not that powerful. China maybe, Russia is not. If you are lasting for 3 years in a freaking war with a country that is ranked 22, not good. It's like India going to Bhutan and like getting stuck for 3 years. What do you think our standard would be after that? It's like, you can describe whatever you want, but if you lost more than 100,000 soldiers, yeah, nothing can justify that kind of blood loss in a country that has negative population growth. So, Trump is America first. Let that be very clear. Trump is America first. And that is shocking to the world because, again, everyone before that is like, world is our problem. It's like, dude, your whole country is rotting from the inside. Fix that first. And he's doing that. So people are like, what do you mean? That's what Doge is. And again, he is fully willing to make Americans suffer today so they can have a better tomorrow. If they force every industry to come back, would it increase cost in America? Absolutely. Would Americans hurt right now because of it? Absolutely. Then why do that? If they suffer today, then their children will have a healthier tomorrow. They have to do it. It's not optional. And thankfully, they do have balls. Again, let's see what happens in this 4 years. Again, that's the aim. That's what he's working towards. Outside country does not matter. That's the whole point of having 13 super carriers. It's like, it does not matter. Outside world does not matter. Even Bihar police can defeat Poland. Please consult a psychologist. I have back issue cured by physiotherapy. Again, I did. I've been doing that from 2018. My problem has escalated beyond that. Like you can see that in MRI. It's like, bro, it has reached a point where it's like, no, it's no longer affecting. Knowledge of price is very limited. See, everybody, whenever I say something that do not like, oh, you do not know anything, then why are you asking? Why are you talking about it? It's the same point. It's like, if you disagree with me, the end. Don't talk about it. SpaceX could use the Starship system just now, use the booster catch and burn out and let's have something. Yeah, that again they have to see. You cannot just keep going because again, pushing off air traffic controller is not a good thing. Again, they will. That's the big issue. That every time air traffic, okay, now reroute the flight. That's not acceptable thing. Japan and Korea series about population collapse, but Europe not because until Europe not acknowledge population collapse, India didn't. Yeah, fair point. Even Bihar can be okay versus thousands killed after World War 2 years of no, not 100,000. Minimum 100,000 in first few months. Minimum. And again, we do not know. Again, that's what you call fog of war. We do not know the real number. I do not know it. You do not know it. Even most likely Russia does not know it, nor Ukraine knows it. There is a fog of war. You cannot be damn sure we know exactly how many people went poof. So there is a fog of war. And Anupam Vipul is India first. Absolutely. That's why I keep saying, like, I'm saying this for freaking years. My videos are that old for years, not like 1 year, 1 month, years. That India should go into renewable energy, not because it is good for the environment, but because it's good for our independence. We are not independent if we are asking OPEC for oil. It's not independent if we have to ask Russia for oil. It does not matter whether we are getting it cheap or not. As long as it is outside, we are no longer in control. We have to go to renewable, so we control it. We have to do seaweed biofuel, so we do not have to beg, please give us fuel. I've been saying that for so long. Bro, please look my comment. Where is the comment? Ukrainians need nuclear, Koreans, they are safe, nuclear deterrence. Again, let's see. Let's see what happens with that. Why people get ahead Trump by anyways, percent 2020. It's not like USA has abolished elections. Let's see. Whole comment before reacting is a reactive chemical reaction. Your person is wrong. Okay, fine. Again, I'm not God. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not God. I can be completely wrong. I can be completely wrong. Okay, had nuclear weapon there, so I'll ask them to give it. Again, that was a bad deal. Again, that was a bad deal. Flat out, everybody agrees that was a bad deal. Nobody is saying that, it's a good deal. Bro, join politics, you have to harm me, will vote for you. Nah. I'm not interested in politics. See, right now, I have two things going on, my YouTube channel and Ahirawat. If Ahirawat becomes a big thing, YouTube will go away. So, let's see what happens. Oh, one good thing happened again this week. I could not work too much, but 3 days I have worked. This channel will get 3 videos. Yeah, so very awesome. So this mouse was a super expensive mouse that I bought because again, I consume mouses, so to say. Like I have way too many. Like almost every year, my mouse was bricking itself. So I decided to buy a super expensive mouse, which is MX Master 3S, which is a USB-C one. There is a cheaper one which has micro B, but I was like, okay, let's make sure everything has USB-C. So I bought this one, and I was like, this started to malfunction. First I thought it was software glitch or my computer was misbehaving. No, the mouse was. And I thought like, okay, I went into that surgery thing, then came back. And meanwhile, I bought this cheap mouse just to keep me happy, keep me working. And I was like, okay, this mouse is very expensive. This is super cheap. This is very expensive. I cannot have this as a paperweight. It's too goddamn expensive. And so then I was like, okay, I will do RMA. Looked into it. It's like 1 year warranty. Even this has 3-year warranty. And this puppy is idiotically expensive. So I was like so frustrated and I was so angry. I was like, okay, let me tear it down. I tear it down. I'm watching a video, it's like how to tear it down, where the screws are like 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 1 screw here, 1 screw on the top. I'm tearing it down and they said like, yeah, everybody is having the button problem. And I'm like, it freaked me out. It's like, I watched so many reviews of this, one version older, which had the micro B port. Everybody's like, I've been using it for 8 years, 9 years. I'm like, what the hell happened? So when they changed the model, basically updated this port, they changed the button also. So where was the button? I had it here, yeah. So This is the micro switch button that they have. So they changed the button. So whoever the supplier was gave them crappy switches, and so many people are complaining only in 1 or 2 years is just breaking itself, and it's so expensive I cannot afford it. And again, it's a good mouse. I'm very happy if it was working. And like again, I have never experienced this sort of the metal third wheel. It's super awesome. Like once you use it, everything else does not matter. Like this is so good, like so good, as you can see. Like, and again, it has a magnetic clutch. So if you are like cut, you may hear the sound, right? And I can deactivate the magnetic clutch, and then it's like completely soft. Like magnetic clutch it has. It's like super awesome. Like again, I know it's a finicky thing, but I'm happy. And again, it also has this horizontal. Again, for my video editing, it does help. So I wanted to make sure to save this, but I was so frustrated. Warranty was over and it was bricked. I was like, okay, what else I'm gonna lose? Opened it up and I'm watching the video. It's like, what if I replace the switch, the broken switch? So I desolder it and I'm like, okay, where could I find the switch? So I was like, oh, I have so many mouse. So I tore apart one of my old broken mouse, and literally you can see it has keys. So you have middle, left and right. So I removed the right one and soldered it. And because again, they have updated the model, they removed basically this key switch basically had 3 holes, 3 pin. So you have normally open, normally close. So they had 3 switches and 3 contacts. So one contact I chopped off and put it there. The holes were same. It worked. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. How much you got in Ahiravat? Again, right now it's not done. Right now nothing is done on Ahiravat front. It's very early on, but again, it could be one of those things where it's like, if things go well, let's knock on wood. If things go well, which again, by the end of March or April, we should know how good the engine is, because then we'll have the dyno and actual testing. If things go well, we'll know what is the BSFC. Now, to give you a context, if BSFC is 250, it's sloppy. If it's 200, that's good. That's like the best Toyota engine and best Honda engine. But again, that is not a big deal, because that's like, yeah, you just made another engine in India that is good enough. Okay, cool, but it's not wow. But imagine if it goes to 150. Again, on principle, on mathematics, everything we have done says that it could be much, much better. But again, number wise, it should at least reach below 200. Once we go below 200, that's like, whoa. A petrol 4-stroke engine below 200, that's like, damn. If it reach 180, it's like, whoa. 180 is like a Scania diesel, that is like, 9-liter diesel engine, which is running on like, very advanced and all that. So it's a very big thing that if we can do that, that would be like, whoa, whoa. And if it goes below that, let's say 150, 150, you have to understand, that's the world's best at this point in time. If our first engine reaches that, done, bro. Like at that point, you'll be like, oh, I knew this engine that took over the world. I knew the guy who was working on it before it was cool. Let that be very clear, before it was cool. So that's there. So we have a bet. I have done an interview in Ahiravat channel. You guys can go into that channel and watch it. In Ahiravat channel, basically you have 2 videos I have done with Ron, who is the inventor, and I have done with David, who is the technical developer and all that. So Ron come up with the idea, makes the idea, and David refines it. So both of them are very old. Basically, one is 60, another is 80. So we are the one who's physically making it. And after that, we'll see what happens. So we have to put a tariff on China. There is some tariff. There is a lot of tariff. Again, there is tariff in solar. That's why India has solar panel manufacturers now. Although the irony is, if we put tariff on China, solar panel, Indian government gave a lot of money to Indian manufacturers to big solar system, and then we started to sell solar panels outside. Basically, in America, a lot of solar panels are Indian made. In India, a lot of solar panels are Chinese. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? It's like a dicto thing is happening. It's funny, but things like this happen. Just for that. Yeah, not interesting. Why India keeps researching on hypersonic missile when we can't even make laser weapons, which is cheap? Yeah, that's a good show. What's your official post in Ahiravat? I told you, Chief Visionary Officer. Even for less adamant that you are again, Saj Kumar. Why you keep repeating it? I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking about mouse, and you keep going back to it. I'll let it go, man. Let it go. To Muslim passport on dude will soon change his passport once I took off, maybe just to go here, so because everyone is going there. No, not my target is not there. My target is where I get some service. my target. Again, for work, I may have to go. Again, that's like very far out. Assuming things go well, I may have to. But again, that's too far out. And again, if I have to shift as a individual, I have to shift. That's not my first choice. My choice is in the countries that have some services that I want. If there is no service, what's the point of going there? So if you even below 200, would you become millionaire? Not millionaire. Below 200 is like okay. Because here's the deal, it's cool. Let's say we reach below 200. Again, I have talked about this in length with even Ron and all that. Below 200 is like okay, it's good, but it's not like whoa. Because you have to, people will only change once you give them big enough shock where it's like whoa. If I don't change, I lose. So unless that happens, nobody's gonna do that. And 200 is like so 200 is like that. But any number below that, again, 200 is more than good enough for our first engine, right? It's the first time we are building the CV motion technology, so that's good enough. But Chief Engineer is made a post for you. You do know all posts are made up, right? You freaking do know all posts are freaking made up. Few years ago, we did not have Chief Technical Officer. We only used to have Financial Officer and Executive Officers. Now we have Chief Technical Officer, Chief Visionary. Oh, Linus Tech Tips is also Chief Visionary Officer. It's like, and every post is made up. It's like, what the hell? I'm waiting for Intel GPU. Yeah, that's a wise. So what about SpaceX now after the second Starship second time now? Yeah, again, they have to do some soul searching. Again, this is not acceptable. They cannot keep pissing off air traffic controller. It's like, oh yeah, our rocket blew up again. Can you please divert? It's like, because again, you have to understand, people are gonna yell at the plane company. Na? Like, let's say I buy Indigo and Indigo had to redivert. I'm gonna be angry at Indigo. I'm not gonna care. It's like, oh, SpaceX is doing it. I will say, oh, why didn't you reroute the plane path? Again, it may not be viable, but again, I will think like that. So you have to understand that. So will you not even continue live on this channel once I become successful? Again, depends. Define successful. Successful could be like I'm barely making the same money I was. Again, that's not good enough. If I have to move to Bangalore, again, I would expect, because again, Bangalore is expensive. The cost have to match that condition. If cost matches that condition, all things could work out. Then I will do that. Again, I would not like the idea of like letting this channel go. But again, that could happen if the conditions are good. Knock on wood. Let's just hope for that. Again, more things will be clear. Basically, how in Hindi we say kitne pani mein, basically how deep you are in the water. Once we actually run the engine, get the BSFC data, we'll know what is going on. So channel is successful. So again, like anything new in computer world? Again, computer world right now, this thing, new matter state, as if like people do not even know. Like there are 20 matter states, we know. Like 5 major matter states, you know. Bose-Einstein condensate, solid, liquid, gas and plasma. We know these 5 states, but there are many more. So I want today you face from twice today because my comment lol. So if you're not confused, like okay, does NASA monitor Starship? Of course they do. you cannot launch anything from USA without NASA's supervision. NASA has to supervise it. FAA, again, they are trying to yeah, hook my son, hook it. Let's see. So fundamentally speaking, this is a big issue, because again, it's also affecting international flight. Na? So those people are not a very lol people where you can just like, you know, make them inconvenient for as long as you want. It's like, no, this they really need to think through. Because here's the deal, 1 time you do not reach orbit, no problem. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Yeah, 6, 7 times is like, okay, bro, bit much. Reach orbit now. Reach the goddamn orbit. So basically they have to do what we call pen down. They have to lay it down. Like they cannot, oh, we are improving it. It's like, no, you're not. You have not finished it. Finish it first, then improve it. So fundamentally, again, so many unknowns. You cannot have a successful rocket program if everything is unknown. So what will be the diameter of the rocket? We do not know. What will be the engine thrust? We do not know. We have working on Mach 3, we are launching on Mach 2, and we are working on Mach 4. It's like, what? So when Tesla test is scheduled for CV engine, again, we are working on it. That's what we are right now doing. Like the more physical thing that you saw was built for demonstration, and then now we are making an even better one, physically fresh from metal. Metal should be for what you call poured, forging, not forging, what do you call it? Pour. Casting, yeah, sorry, casting. So again, we learned a lot from the first system. So we're gonna do casting, then we're gonna do machining, EDM machining and all that. Then we're gonna do CNC and all that. So it should be done. Again, at this point in time, you have to understand. CV, the company itself were spent 4 years, and all they got that AA engine, but they did figured out the patenting. They've patented the hell out of it. It's patented almost everywhere. It's patented in Germany, Italy, South Korea, India, America. They patented it everywhere. So that's the good part. But again, when this company was founded a year, again, we'll launch it. When we launch it, you will see every detail. Right now, it's a very early stage to talk about those sort of things. What's the problem with the automation of surgery and diagnostic in hospital by artificial intelligence? Right now, it's not good enough. Right now, flat out, it's not good enough. Once it becomes good enough, it has to be done, because again, people can't afford things. You have to understand, this is one thing you have to understand. Everybody's like, oh, we want worker to have jobs. It's like, your call center would be far cheaper. Throw away the jobs. It's like, it's you can see people chanting in front of Tesla dealership, sell your Tesla. It's like, if everybody sells their Tesla, who is buying it? Who's gonna buy it? It's like, abandon Tesla because he's high. It's like, bro, that's not how it works. But it's a funny thing. So fundamentally, once it becomes cheap enough, people have to do it. Like, we can't afford it. And again, right now, my problem is like I have to travel. It's not just like, a nearby. And it's like, even my brother has to travel from his location to other locations. So it's a lot of frustration because of this, traveling and stuff. Oh, today also I made another small progress. I'll give you guys an idea. So my Ender 3, basically it had this fan, 24 volt fan. It makes horrendous noise. So I thought like my old UPS, I tore it down. It also had a 24 volt fan. So I was like, okay, what if I 3D print a shroud and put this fan? I thought of it, and then I realized I have to do so much work to do that. And again, I have to recalibrate the firmware, which I did when I upgraded the main board, but I forgot how to do it. So it will be too much work to basically put this new larger fan. Hopefully this will be quieter, but I don't think, because when it was running in UPS, it was not very quiet. But again, larger size, I could tone down the voltage to get same airflow with lower volume. So I decided it's like, might as well buy a new fan. So this was the fan. I bought the fan and put it there. So today only, I just did it today only. So I'm making small progress, even though the main work that I wanted to do, I did not do as well as I expected. Like, I don't have short planned yet. I don't have 5 days videos, but it is what it is. And it's developing its own jet engine named AMCA. I'm working on engine. Let's see if it works. Is making an income, so from AI. Dude is making his income source from AI. Again, that's the see, our company can even not only is we gonna be manufacturer, we are also sourcing the license. Meaning, if let's say Tata comes to us, it's like, okay, we're gonna buy, we want that engine, but we want to manufacture it. No problem. We can give you the license. So Honda comes, is like, bro, we already have engine plant. We think we can manufacture it. We're gonna work with them to develop the system, and then we're gonna like more than happy with licensing the engine. So licensing is also viable. I think you will build your first engine, just run it with a dyno. Why need BSFC? Again, running the engine is meaningless. Because again, any Tom, Dick and Harry, children can build an engine and that works. Half of the mechanical engineering student can do that. That's a normal thing. Without BSFC value, we do not know how good or bad we are. Because again, let's say worst case scenario, right? I hope, knock on wood, that does not have. It comes up with 300. Nobody's gonna look at our engine. So it matters. It matters, my man. It matters. It has to be good. Again, right now, I'm getting traveling and lot of calls. So what I got was traveling, what I have to deal with in terms of payment, a lot of calls. And again, it's unknown. I do not know what will happen. It's almost like how Bitcoin was like long ago. I don't know. How long will the surgery take to be automated by AI? I think it will be very long. After 7 Elon said about adding more fire suppressant system, why not addressing the core issue, why prop leak happened, and why not use that proprietary? Again, we do not know the full context. We just have a certain idea. He has the full data point. We do not. So whatever he's saying is filtered data. So you have to understand that high probability is just like already solve the core issue in the future ship. Meanwhile, flight just ate the getting away with just more fire suppression system and vents. Again, that could be the case. But again, you cannot piss off air traffic control. That's the point that I'm like solely focused on. If you keep pissing off air traffic control, at some point FAA will get so many complaints. They're like, bro, we have to. And again, you have to understand, complaints will come from other countries. So it's not something that you can just like lol. I don't know why manufacturing so fast and don't have time to account for all the issues first. Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. Like there are too many things in motion. Like they have to sit down. Like how we have 4 engines, like designed, but we are not like making all of them. It's just like make one, get it done, get it tested. It's like regions may be sophisticated and but the way more wiser in family matters. That's the only thing it's good at. That's the only thing it's good at, religion. Like again, that's why I say do not take religion as science, take religion as ethics. It's really good. Takes religion as a guide for family matters. It's really good. But other than that, it's like run it with Dino and check the fuel consumption. That's called BSFC. You do know dyno has two control setting, RPM and torque loading. So we have to measure the RPM and we have to measure the torque. Basically think in this way, let's say our engine is from 0 to 3500 RPM, okay? So we're gonna set it to 500 RPM and then we're gonna set torque to one value, let's say 10%. Then we're gonna increase it to 20%, 30%. We're gonna keep seeing how much fuel it's consuming during all those cycles. Then we're gonna plot it into graph, okay? RPMs and torque, okay? So torque would be like this, RPM would be like this. Then we're gonna say how much fuel was consumed. Then again, we're gonna increase the loading. So then again, we're gonna plot the data, how much fuel consumed. Then another plot data. You do it enough times, then you will have a full BSFC graph. Go flight for grizzly bears. That's such a meaningless point. I do not know who is creating that. Like a grizzly bear fight. Like I saw a woman saying like, I'd rather take a bear over a man. It's like, but I did not get why you are so excited on that for man. I have never seen any man claiming, I can fight a bear. It's like, I can't, bro. I'm like physically, I'm not that good. Let it be very clear. Proof, I'm not that good. But again, that's so silly thing. I've seen you keep repeating that few times. Few times I have seen it. So, oh, anyway. 1 hour is up again. So this was a very interesting live stream, a lot of views. So we're gonna see you guys again hopefully next week. Anyways, bye.